All right, Tyler Soderstrom started the year off really hot, and you can see here in his first 119 plate appearances, he was hitting 292, had 9 home runs to kind of start off that first month or so of the season. You fast forward to what he's been doing over the last month or so, and he's only hitting 238 with 1 home run. So it's quite a drop in production. And typically, whenever you see a drop like this, there's something mechanically going on. Hitters don't forget how to hit, and pitchers don't continually dominate the same hitter over and over again. It's always mechanical if something changes for the good or for the bad. And so you just have to start to learn where to look if you're a hitter and some things that are important to pay attention to. And so that's what we're going to talk about in today's video is what's changed in Soderstrom's mechanics between early on in the season and what he's currently doing now. Before we jump into the side-by-side video analysis, I just wanted to go over the difference in muscles that Tyler's been using recently. And it's just a result of something he's doing differently as he settles himself into the box and gets ready to hit. There are so many steps that a hitter goes through between walking from the on-deck circle to getting to the top of their stance when it's time to hit. And everything matters. And if you don't know exactly what you're doing, you don't know what you're not doing. And so here on the right is the muscles that Tyler was using in April. It's his Interossei muscles there that help secure the bat. And those work with the extensor digiti minimi of the common extensor tendon, as well as the pronator teres of the common flexor tendon. So every time an athlete moves his arm, he's going to use one of 5 muscles on each side of that humerus. It's going to be the extensor tendon, which is right here on the thumb side, or the flexor tendon, which is right here on the pinky side. And so that's what he was doing in April with his left hand. Now in May, he's been using his flexor digitorum superficialis to grasp the bat. And you can see here, this muscle inserts into the pip joints of the hand, but it originates in that common flexor tendon, but it passes through the wrist joint, where in April, he wasn't using a hand muscle that passed through the wrist joint, so he had freedom of motion to use different forearm muscles. But now he has to use his flexor digitorum superficialis, and that one works with the extensor carpi radialis of the extensor tendon. Again, if you just remember, there's always 5 tendons or 5 muscles that attach to that tendon on each side of the body. And so those are the options for every hitter. And so this is what dictates what their arms look like throughout the swing. And you can just see here, this is his left arm as he's kind of completing his contact, and just look at his head in relationship to his arm. It's just a reflection of the muscles that are moving this arm and moving this arm. But additionally, there's other muscles that are moving the entire trunk differently, the entire legs differently, and even the neck differently. All right, so we're just going to follow Tyler's left arm throughout the swing in each instance. And over here on the left is him using the flexor digitorum superficialis to hold the bat. On the right, it's him using the Interossei muscles. And if you just follow the left arm on the left side of the screen, you'll see, and if you remember, that flexor digitorum superficialis inserted into the pip joints of the hand, so that hand is bringing the humerus forward with it. And you can kind of see how his wrist doesn't get a work independent. It just kind of goes through contact, and then his follow through, his arm gets to here, and it's just a reflection of that common flexor tendon muscle that he's using. It's a flexor digitorum superficialis that acts like that. When you look at the right, again, it was his Interossei muscles holding the bat, so he got to use his pronator teres to move that common flexor tendon, and his arm just orients differently, and his hand and his wrist is free to move on its own. So it's not going to do what the arm is doing. The wrist can just snap through contact, but that snap happens right there, and then just continues through contact, and it's just a reflection of the muscles of his hand that are holding that bat. So that's all he's doing differently. But again, he's accelerating through the zone now. You can see how quickly he gets to finish compared to on the left. But as far as Tyler's concerned, he's just in the box, reading and reacting, trying to get a hit. His body is reacting how he set it up to react, and the only way he's going to change that is if he learns what he did differently in each instance.